Hello, a Better Lived Life crew. I'm Christina, coach, combat vet, and community change agent. In a previous video, I discussed how someone with ADHD can approach new hobbies without blowing all their money and avoiding disappointment. I mentioned that I have wanted to start metal detecting for almost 10 years. Well, the time has come. I waited until I'd had physical therapy for my shoulder, hip, and back. I waited until I could afford the detector I wanted and pay cash. I found a club that is involved with detecting, and I have attended a meeting. I made contingency plans for the parts of me that I know would work against it, such as I only intend to metal detect during the summer, so I started early this season when the weather was starting to warm up. This also means that I don't have to be up before sunrise because in the summer, sunrise is earlier. And finally, a few weeks ago, a colleague mentioned that he also enjoys metal detecting, so now I have a buddy to go with occasionally. I spent some time evaluating what about metal detecting would make me happy on the days that I don't find anything of value. I settled on the idea that helping to clean the beaches and parks would be a lovely way to spend the morning, even if I don't find treasure. I accepted that my metal detecting would have to take place before 10 a.m. because I'm not supposed to be out in the sun. Thank you, melanoma. I found at least one cheaper point of entry. My local library has state park passes, so at least I do not have to pay for parking. And I've done it. I went on my first session to test out the detector. And to be clear, that's how I viewed it. I was testing my design and equipment. And here's what happened.
So this is my very first time metal detecting ever. Of course, I planned to get here at like half hour before low tide started. That did not happen. Of course, in true ADHD fashion, not only did I mess a couple of things up, but more things than seems like they should have gone wrong went wrong. Like my metal detector and scoop arrived, but the scoop arrived without the bolt. Got an email from the organization before it even arrived saying they thought they had forgot to send the bolt, and they'd be shipping it. No problem. Should have had it by like Saturday. Um, yeah, then they forgot to actually drop it in the mail. So it did not get here. So I ran to Home Depot yesterday to get a bolt. Ended up getting the wrong size. So that was one of those me things because it fit the scoop, but I didn't realize that the pole actually had a narrower hole in it. So, fortunately, even though it is Memorial Day, the Home Depot was open at 6 this morning, so I was able to run there, get a smaller bolt. Um, then trying to get to the beach here, and turns out there's a big event going on. So a huge portion of the road is shut down all the way to the municipal parking lot. So that was a joy trying to figure out where the heck to go and how to get there. So this was, I've been out here for about half an hour now. I was starting to get a little worried that the metal detector, I hadn't set it up right or it was broken or something because I wasn't getting anything. Ended up finally finding two tiny pieces of garbage. Um, and like, I'm not expecting to get like diamond rings every trip or anything like that, but I at least wanted to be able to treat this like when I wasn't getting, um, treasures per se. I was at least helping clean up the beach and the area, and to not even find anything. Like, not only was I freaking out that the machine wasn't working, but I'm like, I'm not even getting to clean. Um, I'm also realizing that I am not quite as ready as I thought I was. The um, the shoulders are getting a little sore, getting a little angry. The arms are tired. Hopefully that will get better with time, of course. But like you can see, this is shaking because I'm having trouble even holding the phone straight. Um, didn't bring a selfie stick or anything like that, so I'm also holding this by hand. But I made it. This is the first trip.
So this was my very, very first time metal detecting. You can see I got mostly garbage, although by the time I got to that, I was very happy to have it because this wasn't getting anything in the water line. So I moved over to where more people sit, and at least I know it works. So here we go. After this experience, I made the conscious choice to skip the next weekend to allow some time to recover. I also pulled a bunch of boxes out of storage that weekend to help clear out grandma's storage unit. My shoulder was weak, and wrecked. I realized that I need to step up the shoulder physical therapy exercises, so I've been working on incorporating more of them into my routine. Since it was an experiment and my first day, I was comfortable stopping two individuals that I saw on the beach metal detecting and asking them about their experience. They helped me to realize that I was going to have to make some changes, like swapping around my wardrobe. So next time I'm going to wear a hoodie to protect the sides of my face, my neck, because I can't wear a wide brim hat and the headphones at the same time. I also decided to get a sling to help move some of the weight from my shoulder onto my back, holding the detector. So that will be part of test 3. It has arrived, I just haven't tested it out yet. I went to the park yesterday and tested out the equipment there, so it's a little different. That was test 2. Even though I didn't have as much time, it went fine. My shoulder got another workout. I am a little sore today. This is how it went.
Second time using the metal detector. This time I went to my local park. Much harder to dig. Roots, I think I'm going to have to get the standing shovel. But as you can see, I got a bag full of garbage. Some of it dug, some of it just picked up as I was going. And as for anything worthwhile, so that includes some bottle caps, some pull tabs, stuff like that. As for anything worthwhile, I got 30 cents and this weird little bead. I don't know. My guess is junk. Looks like steel, probably. There we go. And managed to injure my hand. Yay. Learning curve.
So, long story short, I have been very, very careful to be honest with myself during this journey. Because I didn't dive in expecting to find gold day one, because I treated my first 2 outings as tests to see what I needed to modify, because I have never told myself that this is the hobby of my life and I will love it forever and I will do it every weekend or some other nonsense, my expectations have remained low. And therefore, it's been very easy to enjoy just getting out, even if all I find is garbage. Remember, if you are considering a new hobby, look for ways to enter it without setting yourself up for failure or breaking the bank. Look for the cheapest point of entry. Wait to see if you are still interested in a few months or years, depending on cost. Choose a reasonable time frame. This hobby doesn't have to be something you do year round. Be very realistic that shopping and the hobby are not the same things. Pay cash. Don't put hobbies on credit cards and pay interest. Tie the hobby to as many other goals as you can. Metal detecting helps me to get out and exercise, get fresh air, meet people, and it motivates me to do my physical therapy exercises. Include groups or friends. I found a group and a coworker. We're making plans to hopefully meet up and do a sweep of the beach after the 4th of July. Don't be afraid to start new hobbies. Just make sure that you take the time to fully evaluate the reality of the hobby. The higher the cost or time investment, the more cautious we need to be. We want to have hobbies. We don't want to simply be led around by our ADHD rabbit holes and hyperfixations. So wish me luck on my new adventure. Now go forth and do great things.